talking to people about Rochdale, about the election. If you want to say who you're voting for.
So, from what perspective?
All right. So we're encouraging. Let's give a flyer over. We're going around all the by-elections, encouraging people to vote. We're not saying who for. We're saying we should go out and have your democratic right to have your voices heard. We're interviewing some of the candidates and we're talking to people on the street. We have people around the country, signatories. We've got a few key issues that we're interested in, like free speech and net zero and lockdowns. So we're sort of getting a little temperature from people and talking to different people. You're obviously a business owner in the area and everything, so yeah. Good. So we've been sitting here. I'm Alan. What's your name?
I'm Mohammed, Mush. Mush, but friends and family call me Mush.
Right, well, you've got a lovely place here, and we noticed that you gave us a George Galloway sticker. And
it was somebody who just sat here a short while ago, and it was on the floor, so when I moved the table, I think I stuck it on you. It was just a bit of a joke, you don't have to walk for him.
So we're wondering just what your thoughts are about Rochdale, what you think Rochdale needs. You're obviously a business owner and that kind of
thing. Rochdale, put bluntly, over the years, it's my son there. Say hello.
Hello, how you doing?
It's gone to the dogs. It really has.
What do you
I
mean
don't
by
know
that?
where you guys are from, but Rochdale, high street shops, pound shops, charity shops, slot machines. You know, we don't have a major retailer. Boots has moved into a shop just double the size of this. It's history's a mill town. No more mills, no more jobs, high unemployment, a fair proportion of ethnic minority communities, heritage being Bangladesh, Kashmiri, Pakistani. You know, we now have new emerging communities like the African people who've come over via Europe into here, and it's just on its knees. We don't have a hospital as such. There's no magistrates court, there's no youth court, there's no police holding cells. It used to have A&E, it doesn't have that now. It used to have maternity, it doesn't have that now. It used to have a silver high unit for heart attacks. You know, I wouldn't like to guess how many people have died being ferried to Bury or Oldham. But yet Rochdale for him is just not. So it's just.
Why is that?
Well, it's for a layman like me, it'd be very easy, wouldn't it, to say it's the politicians who've messed it all up over the years. You know, I think it was George who was here the other day and he said to me, if I could grant you a wish, you as a small business, what would you have? I started this, or we started this for the kids. That was my son, my daughter was just talking to you. My niece manages the kitchen, family run thing. I had this idea of providing good quality food. And I said, the place isn't big enough. The location is right. I said, I'd love to have somewhere which were like supported, like small units, where we could move the commercial side of the kitchen, maybe the Uber Eats, the Just Eats and all that gets done from there. The bulky food's cooked there, it's finished off here and served. And maybe we could make space to get another couple of tables in. There's no business support. Kingsway Business Park started about 20 odd years ago, supposed to finish in 3 years, supposed to create 12,000 jobs. Part finished, probably 3,000 jobs. It's just, I dare say it's a story of many towns up and down the country.
So it's interesting as well, isn't it? Because the three leading candidates, George Galloway, Anzar Ali, and also Simon Danchuk, were all previously Labour and Labour MPs, and now they're all standing in different parties. What do you think's happened with Labour as well? Because do you think that most people in Rochdale are not as interested in them? Or?
It's a shame, really, because a lot of people are bringing global politics into local politics. My argument is this, that we're not electing an MP for Israel, Gaza, or for that matter anywhere else. We're electing a Member of Parliament for Rochdale. You know, George is a lovely fella. If he was sat here, he'd charm you, he'd put smiles on your face, he'd say things which make you laugh and stuff. But reality be, if he was to get elected, what power does he hold? Tories don't like him. Labour doesn't like him. Liberals, for whatever say they have, they don't like him. The people who run the government, secretary level people, the establishment doesn't like him. Royal family don't like him. Americans don't like him. So whilst he's a lovely fella, and as a Muslim my heart bleeds for Palestine, George is not going to free Palestine. Palestine will be free the day the Americans say it's free. When they push the foot down onto Israel and say, either we stop everything, you stop this genocide here now. George shouting for a ceasefire now isn't going to work. Labour's being punished because Keir Starmer didn't make those statements right from the start.
So what do you think most people, let's say the overall constituency, you've been here a while, you obviously are very articulate.
No, I'm just a layman, my friend.
You're very articulate, you're very insightful.
I failed my CSEs, if you remember
You've given
them.
us better stats and a better overview than most people you talk to, right? So my question to you is, as an overall constituency, because it's what it is, Rochdale, right?
Yeah,
overall,
yeah.
what do you think the majority of people would say? If you, I mean, I know this is speculative, but what do you think that most people would be like to see happen? Is it the economic questions?
I've had people in here this morning from. I've not had any reforms in the Simon Danchuk people. We've certainly had Labour's in the George Galloway people in this morning, and you know,
see some independents as well on the windows along here.
Yeah, his dad or him, the local business people. They have a garage, with car repairs. On the face of it, he's a good man. But what you have is, you have the inner areas of Rochdale, which are predominantly Asian. Typically a Labour stronghold who won't. You know, when people came to this country, my father and people like that, they were told, if you work, you vote Labour. Labour was related to work.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Totally.
They're the workers' party. But had this thing not surfaced about Azraeli saying it's a conspiracy, how come none of the bombs that they get fired out of the rockets they let off, but yet so many people have crept in, killed so many people, took hostage, where was the Israeli army? So that's what he's been dropped for. Because in a private meeting somewhere he said, it just doesn't seem true. You know, had he not been dropped, I think he had a good chance of winning. But the George people...
Has he got a good chance of winning anyway, even if he's not? Because we hear
it's
that
all
people are
confusing,
campaigning.
mate. But on the outer skirts... So
are.
my kid's mum lives in a little place down here called Littleborough. It's part of Rochdale. It's about 3 miles down. Local community, not many ethnic minority people. They're probably thinking, can't stand Galloway. You know, can't stand this guy who's anti, you know, Jewish kind of thing. And I think this Tilly guy will pull some weights. Simon Danchuk, I'm not sure about. He had a bit of his end of his last tenure wasn't pleasant. You know, a lot of stuff. I'm sure you guys will have read stuff about his past as when he was an MP. So maybe it's still a race between the independent guy Azraeli and George. Tully, I don't know.
Here's, I suppose, the other question, because we've got key things we're interested in, but I'm really interested from your perspective.
Your breakfast is going to go really
cool. This will be your last question, and we're going to get tucked in.
Yeah.
But thank you, it's really appreciated. As an overall constituency, like when you came here, or your parents came here, and that whole idea of working hard, and obviously there were issues historically in Britain, right, with people face challenges, right, which we know about. But how much do you think now, there's a sense of there is a kind of overall community, Rochdale, everyone together, or is it very divided, and has it got worse or better? Because people hear a lot of things.
Rochdale's had a lot of bad luck. Over the years, it's had a lot of bad luck. When I was growing up, politics was a word of respect. It meant dignity, it meant honour, it meant stability, it meant kind of somebody was a person of morals, good human being and stuff. And the Asian community, I told you I'd be in trouble. I'm being sort of watched all the time. Bloody
You're
kids.
doing a brilliant job, though.
Anyway, but used to have a fella called Cyril Smith.
Yeah.
People, the Asian community thought sun would shine out of his backside. Years later, what emerged? He was a bloody paedophile. He was going around children's homes, abusing little kids in care. Then comes Simon Danchuk, writing, rude messages and texts and emails to a young woman with special needs and stuff. What was his wife doing? Stripping off and posing, and issues of fighting in Spain or somewhere, and so you tend to find that we're at a level now where the typical saying of politics is a dirty word actually is playing about in many places, not just here, many places. So I don't know. Our parents came here and felt that somebody who was in politics could be approached, could be talked to, would listen, be helpful, and generally it was like a case of yes sir, yes sir. Speak to my kids, politics, use the F word or whatever, not interested. You know what I mean? What do they do for... And when this terminology comes out, what do they give us? That isn't a black, white, green, blue, Islam, Christian. It's overall. They're in it for themselves. They all piss in the same pot. They all drink together in the Commons bar, 20p a pint or whatever it is out there. So things are not looking great for places like this. Cities like Manchester have actually rinsed the blood and the life out of surrounding towns. There's a time when, if I were going out when I was young, and I got into a cab or something and I'd say town, it meant Rochdale. Now people get in and say town, they mean Manchester. So nightlife, restaurants, cafes, bars and stuff, non-existent, literally.
Why don't you start? This is my last question to you because it's really refreshing listening to you. It's upsetting at the same time because you're pointing out a lot of the issues I think that many people would. Why don't you stand?
You ask,
really?
Your command. I stand. They'll be happy with that. Stand. You all right? Tico? Australis. Yeah, so...
Why don't you?
No.
No?
Too old for that. Too.
No? Well, it sounds like you'd make a very good candidate. But anyway, thank you for talking
pleasure.
to us. It's really appreciated.
Something will come better one day and stuff, but the whole country's in turmoil, isn't it? It really is.
We do think it together that people that are articulate and got
But
opinions,
I do believe
that they should have their voices heard much more and get people engaged. And you're certainly someone who's clear, and perhaps when a lot of younger people are thinking this is all nonsense, we all can inform and shape that a little bit.
What I do totally appreciate, hey pal, what I do appreciate is that use your vote in this election. Across the world, people have died for the right to vote. A lot of people have given their lives. For us, we're probably, I'm maybe one generation above you, but people have given their lives, haven't they, all over the world.
Exactly.
And still today, in some places, they're being deprived of the ability to, have the opportunity to vote. So, yeah. Great. People should vote, and if any Rochdale people are listening out there today, go out, cast your vote, go where your heart takes you, whatever you believe, you go for it. Well, better to vote for somebody than not to vote.
Well, thank you, Mush. And this is Millie's. It's a great cafe. Look at some of the food. We came in there because it looked fantastic, and this has been a bonus. So thanks so much for talking to us. Yeah,
Enjoy
really appreciate
your food.
it.
Let me know if there's anything else the kids can get you.
Lovely.
Yeah.
This is
but
great.
I have to tell you that after this interview or whatever, or this chat
You're in
finishes,
trouble.
I'm in trouble.
Just say it's fine. It's really, really good to hear.
Them two are going to get at me. But anyway, seriously, enjoy your food, and let's see what tomorrow brings.
Yeah, brilliant.
I won't like to put a quid on anyway.
No.
What about you?
Well, we can see what the bookies are saying. And
Galloway?
certainly, yeah.
Is Galloway
Yeah,
favourite?
yeah.
Right, I didn't know.
Yeah, but we'll see. I think we've just been in Wellingborough and Kingswood, and what's really the dominant factor is 70% did not show up, did not vote.
I think
that's
be in this,
yes.
whatever it is.
No worries.
Lamprey.
That's Danny's. Thank you.
hear that? Can I not be in this? Yeah, I think there's going to be a poor turnout here as well. A lot of people are going to, and don't forget, it's only a by-election. What's this going to last till September, October? Yeah, what do you think? The general election.
Well, it has to be called within a certain period of time, so it's going to be
this year.
Yeah.
So maybe even if he leaves it, not going to leave it till December. Latest early November. So, what's it going to be worth?
I think all eyes are on Rochdale, though.
Sadly, for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
Good. Well,
Enjoy
thank you.
food.
Thank you,
Enjoy.
Mistake. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
We're going to get stuck into this food now, and we're going to go and see some more people around Rochdale. And remember, wise words, come out and vote, make your voices heard together.
Definitely.